Are you troubled by ghost and zombie VMs in the night?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your Hyper-V, VMware, or public cloud?
Have you seen an insufficient capacity error or a frightful cloud bill?
If the answer is yes, don't wait another minute. Contact the professionals.
Sprawl Blasters!
Our staff is on call 24/7 to help you solve all of your sprawl and cloud cost fears.
Cut. Guys, that was incredible. Really good work. We've got one more light to set up and then we'll do another take, okay? Stand by.
Incredible.
Incredibly bad.
Man, who wrote this script?
The British guy.
Why can't we just, show our products and talk about how great they are and how they fight sprawl?
The demo speaks 1,000 words. I really wish we could just do that instead.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. So what would you show?
If people saw this screen, I think they would completely get where they can reclaim resources, defer cloud cost, and really just put things on premises, reorganize some things, and just get better performance of stuff they already own.
Right.
So, we have the recommendation screen in vMan where we are looking at historical data and active data to come up with this is where you should put this is where you should put that. We broke it into a couple spots, obviously capacity, performance.
So we call these strategies.
Strategies, yeah. So, and you could turn these on and off, but they're all broken up. And VM sizing, you mentioned Sprawl earlier. Think about that. We'll get to that in another screen, but that's essentially what that one is. So, if we just come in here and look at storage capacity, we can completely see that these data stores are running out of space, and we need to increase them because you run out of storage, everything goes, bleh.
You kind of need to store things.
Yeah, so too many things break when storage is full. Host performance, again, hey, the memory utilization is kind of screwed up on this VM, or this host, so what we need to do is move VM from host A to host B, and guess what? Host A is happy now.
So, and this shows memory, but it would also show CPU or anything affecting the host.
Exactly, and so we will not move anything or give you a recommendation if it puts something in a bad spot. So it's just not hot potato with this VM that's bloating and causing chaos. It is only if we can make an improvement. So again, it's already sitting there. We're just not doing change for change's sake. It's change to actually increase performance. Same with balancing. This one I think is interesting because it's where you may not want things balanced. So if you have workloads that are constantly at 80% and you can stack them and you can get great density on a host, by all means do it. But if you've got VMs that go up and down or weird spikes in performance, think like VDI, Monday morning, stuff like that, then you want a host that's got more capacity, more space, more buffer room. So then you would it would be weird to have your things like this, but you would have it unstaggered because that's how performance is going to work out. And then obviously your VM sizing, which is essentially Sprawl. Again, you can reclaim these resources. You can do a lot with them on premises and other things.
These are the resources that we refer to when we say it's a zombie resource or a ghost resource. Resources that are there consuming memory, CPU, or whatever, that you may not have been aware even existed.
No, but you've already paid for that. You've already bought the storage, bought the disk, bought the CPU, and something's just eating it up and you're unaware of it.
That's right.
So here, orphan VMDKs. I can't tell you how many times I screwed this up when VMware made the change, delete from disk as opposed to delete from inventory. So these are VMDKs that don't have a host or don't have a VM associated with it. That's easy to reclaim. We did a contest a couple years back. There was an individual, his top 10 were all over 2 terabytes. I know disks are cheap now.
Wow.
That's at least 40 terabytes of storage space that was just being thrown away.
Yeah,
and then powered off VMs, obviously, these aren't even turned on. 30 days, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty comfortable spot where if somebody would have known something wasn't working, somebody would have said something. 30 days, hey, they went on a week vacation, they're back already. Purge these, back them up, do whatever you want to do, but these are another spot that resources can be reclaimed.
So I wish we could rename some of these things, like VMs that might benefit from decreasing of vCPU. So it's got access to more vCPU than it really needs. That's a zombie resource.
Absolutely.
Right? Here's another one. VMs just idle for the last week, so it's just taking up storage.
Absolutely.
Right? Zombie storage VMs. That's what we should call it.
Well, because everybody thinks, hey, virtualization, it's free. And so you've got, somebody putting in, I need 64 gigs of RAM, a terabyte of this, whatever it is. They're just like, oh, it's free. It's unlimited. No, but this is why VEMs are set up this way, and this is where you end up with massive bloat.
And here's one of my other favorite ones, and I know customers love this at a show when I show it to them. Snapshots.
Backups, right?
Yeah, snapshots.
No,
Snapshots by disk usage, backups. The thing is, every time you do a snapshot, there's overhead. There's a write penalty for that. And so you can really drag down performance by having a lot of snapshots that maybe you just forgot about.
No, absolutely. I mean, these things are all good. I don't blame anybody from coming in there and putting a VM that's over-spec'd, but then, hey, give it a week, give it a month, whatever it is, and then start trimming the fat. Hey, you want to do an update? By all means, I would recommend the snapshot. Hey, everything worked fine, a week went by, collapse it down. You don't need to keep having your Windows backup 7 months ago as a snapshot restore point. That's probably pointless.
So just this main dashboard screen inside vMan is a really good way for our customers to just sort of say, reclaim the hardware that they've already spent. Because we talk a lot about customers that do a lift and shift to the cloud.
Yep.
And that might not be the most successful thing. I try to tell people, think of it as more move and improve. What this helps you do is improve, then move. How's that?
No, absolutely, because this is where there's no point, if I go back up to the top, you like doing a little scrolly thing. Okay, this is 4 gigs, pretty small, but it can run at 256. So if we move this to the cloud, we are spending 3+ gigs of RAM of that to Azure every month. That is unnecessary.
So for customers in the cloud, is there a way we can help them?
I am so glad you asked, because we have an Azure free tool that shows you all that stuff and your costs associated with them.
All right, let's take a look.
So here's the Azure cost calculator. I've already got one running, and it's showing some workloads in the cloud and their cost.
Yeah, so we have here some, these are storage accounts we're looking at, because we can filter by different things. So we're looking at, that says storage account, there's a resource group, we know where it's located, and all the way over to the right are the costs associated with that for the time period that we have listed here. And so this is a nice way. So if you're already using Microsoft Azure, we have a way to break out the bill and basically help customer understand where they're spending their money.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody we've talked to with the cloud, it's not necessarily they're opposed to the cloud. It's just, hey, I think I'm going to get this enormous bill. I've got it running on premises. It seems to be running okay. And the cost is already deferred. I already bought the hardware and software. Why would I go to the cloud? And I know, hey, cloud's inevitable, 5 nines, 4 nines, whatever it is, biometrics, the whole 9 yards, but this definitely gives you a purview, especially after you trim your workloads, make sure it's nice and clean and thin, that you can actually see what the cost is going to be.
Right, so for a customer, it's already hybrid situation, and they're wondering, well, we did that lift and shift a year ago. Maybe that wasn't the right way to do things, because we've talked about doing move and improve or improve then move.
Yeah.
So for those customers, this free tool, totally free, the Azure Cost Calculator is free, we can help you make sense of your billing. And one of the things that I like is if you go over to this orphan resources, see that little guy? So you can now click on that, show only the orphan resources. So we got some disks that are just orphans, because in Azure, when you delete a VM, it doesn't delete the disks associated. Do you know why?
They listen to VMware?
Well, no, because, well, maybe, because if you made a mistake by deleting the VM, but you want to bring it back, they basically, it's a fail-safe.
Gotcha.
So there are a lot of people that get kind of surprised to find how much they might be spending for orphaned resources. And we're helping make sense of those costs and billing for people.
No, absolutely. And what you can still do even with vMan is you can still monitor all these VMs and actually put those, performance side by side on premises, or even see, hey, I can see I have $1,000, but I'm cranking out widgets and my latency is low, or whatever it is. So you can still make business decisions.
This is the stuff we should be showing in the commercial, not doing those stupid
right size you. Trash.
Hey, gents, let's come back. We're going to do this final shot so I can get back to work.
Gents, he really is British.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys, stand by and action.
We're ready to right size you.